Hi, this is Emily Brown with part 2 of my presentation. Carrying on from where we left off, um, consider the availability of the population as well. Consider the ease or difficulty finding and contacting members of the population. For this presentation, I'm selecting the sample type snowball. What is snowball sampling? Snowball sampling is a method of identifying participants who are linked through shared perspectives, experiences, or other factors. Participants direct the researchers towards other individuals in the same population. A real-world library example would be a reference librarian noticing that a number of interlibrary loans are coming in on the subject of furries. The librarian decides to do some exploratory research because they might want to include a section, maybe a new club. There are a lot of open opportunities, but it's a good idea to gear the interest level. This population group, though, is rather shy and it's not something you would directly ask somebody, oh, are you a furry? So what she would do is send out a library-wide email with instructions and a link to a web-based questionnaire that also requests that furry participants direct other furries to the questionnaire. Would be example of snowball sampling. Collect the data. Questionnaire delivery. Which method of delivery? Methods of delivering the questionnaire include in-person, telephone, mail, email, internet, and point of contact, which is a typical one that's found at research desks in libraries where people would come up and you would be able to ask or persuade them to complete the form. These each have their own pros and cons. And for this example, we are going to be using the email internet example, where you'd be emailing out a web-based questionnaire. And then we have a question of what sort of format is the questionnaire going to be in. Method of format for the questionnaire include open-ended questions, which require complex answers, which can be problematic when participants are not adept at written communication or lack the time to articulate their thoughts about things that are being asked. Ratings, rankings, attitudinal scales all create ordinal level data, which isn't exactly qualitative in nature, but it doesn't mean that it's not necessarily going to be useful on a questionnaire. And there are multiple choice answers. Participants identify their own answers out of a full range of possible answers and write in any additional. We are going to select open-ended questions for this. Exploratory survey question types. Of the open-ended questions, which types would be most helpful for an exploratory survey? Consider the type of data required for the study. Open-ended question types include opinions and attitude questions, self-perception questions, standards of action questions, questions about actual past or present behavior, and projective questions, which are respondents are indirectly asked about themselves to answer by using questions about their peers' attitude, which works especially well in exploratory research because people are a little more open about talking about their friends' attitudes or peers than their own. Qualitative content analysis is going to be selected for that at the end, the analysis step of this. We're going to be looking for patterns in the data by probably coding, identify surprising events and consistencies. Coding is similar to indexing, where data is analyzed and categorized. Incidents of word use counts or related terms and concerns are typical examples of that. Patterns can include similar phrasing, word use, etc. Content analysis and interpretation of data. It's common for content analysis to go on while the data is still being gathered. Content analysis also requires qualitative data from case studies, interviews, or questionnaires. Discussing patterns found in the data and how it relates to the whole of the study would be the interpretation section of the research study. And just to wrap up, this is a qualitative exploratory study that would use a questionnaire survey with open-ended questions delivered to the population by email and website with snowball sampling techniques. And here's my cited sources. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.